risk, you agree?
Huge risk. But it's a classy risk because it's proper cinema. This is not, it's not rubbish. I mean, there's nothing uncinematic about it.
You know, Kareena recently said, like, you are the one, like, for everything your first answer is no.
Yeah, she's...
Shahrukh said, like, Aryan is more into filmmaking. So you never know, like...
We'll see.
Hi guys, this is Pooja from ZoomTV.com and today I'm here with Saif Ali Khan, who's coming up with a really gripping, edgy, dark film called Laal Kaptaan. He's right here. You can see the posters in the background. That's him. That's him. What a transformation.
Scary. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, when I saw your look for the first time, I was like, wait, what just happened? Like on the internet, you have these pictures of you making public appearance, shooting like full chilled out, holidaying with your family, and then suddenly there's this bomb of this poster that drops on the internet, and it's like, wow.
You know, that's the way it should be, right? And I like that balance. Also, my wife's quite balanced, so it's not... A lot of the publicity we get is being on holidays, but I've done like 5 movies.
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Sacred Games 2, we did Tanaji, Laal Kaptaan, we did Chavani Janeman and something else. I can't... Missing something.
Exactly what I was saying. Like, you know, you surprise. There's a surprise element right now. Like,
but
whenever
this is the time where it's got to be like that, you know, where you got to kind of dress and become a character slightly different.
You are, of course, pushing the boundaries with every next film.
That's
so, you know, I'm curious to know, like, how do you go? What is the process like when there's a script offered to you, okay? So, is it like you sit through it, analyze it, or you seek advice from someone, or gut feeling?
It depends at various times. I do ask a few people, but basically you've got to really... It sounds simple, but it takes a lot of commitment. You've got to sit down and read it really carefully. And you should know if you want to be in it or not. And for various reasons, and that depends what drives you, you know, like, I mean, money or security or commercial success, or is there something unique that you want to be part of in that world where it's just instinctively you want to associate? So there's various films. Sometimes you might play a father because it's just cool to play your age in that movie, you know. Sometimes you might want to say, okay, whatever. Recently I've tried to make an effort to try and be a bit more commercial, I think, after Kalakandi and Chef. In the sense that, you know, I think there's right ways and wrong ways to tell stories in India. But Laal Kaptaan, I think, is an exception because I just had to do it. I couldn't say no because I just couldn't say no because, and I don't know if it'll work because it's India's first neo-Western. Like people are like, what? What is Kage? And it doesn't have the usual kind of item songs, and it doesn't have, but it's a revenge drama. It's got action, and it's got, I think it's a commercial movie. But I couldn't say no because just being brought up on Westerns and knowing what that's like. And I used to always wish I could do a film where I ride off into the sunset on a horse after a really kind of romantic experience, meaning just a moving kind of saga. And I've loved films. Westerns have had a different kind of thing in the West, like there's been High Plains Drifter, and the various films are about a supernatural character. Is he a ghost? Is he real? How did he die? Where's he come from? So that's the kind of mystery of the frontier. You know, where you have these kind of slightly wild characters. You don't even know if this guy is human or what the deal is. And so these are the elements you need for that kind of film. You need a background like the Wild West, which is kind of like, you know, no rules and, you know, thing. Bit like doing business in India. The Wild West, okay? Or buying property in Bombay, whatever. So you need a hostile environment. Then you need a mysterious character. And then you need a mission, and then you need revenge, and then you need supernatural elements. Now, the first guy who ever narrated something like this to me in India, in an Indian context, because if you think about it, like medieval India in 1750 after the Battle of Buxar was the Wild West. I mean, and it was the deserts of Rajasthan, much sexier than the Wild West, if you ask me, which is flat prairie and like cowboys and Indians and violence. But this is like rugged and insane, and the colors of the declining Mughal Empire and corrupt Nawabs and people blinding you with red hot pokers and, like, you know, insane torture methods.
That's exactly, you know, this is the emotion.
It's like Game of Thrones. You know, but sorry, it's visceral, it's kind of raw, sword fights, horses, you know, like I said, like, you know, these hangings, you know. So the draft that was sent to me, the working draft said, on the script said, the hunter, the widow, the tracker, the widow, and the hanging tree. And I thought, okay, obviously you can't make a film like that, but how intriguing.
Right.
And this is actually what it's about. And why I like the period is because, you know, hanging people from a tree, all those kind of raw, rustic, kind of wild and violent things were happening at that time. And then, you know, there's other implications to the neo-Western, like the character, and to play a grey character is interesting, that you don't know, is he a good guy, bad guy, who is this guy, until later in the film. You start realizing, oh, okay, he's
even
the
now
one
when we have these chapters, we get to know like little things, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and you know.
I mean, that's marketing and the way they present it. But it's just that as a genre, there's certain films that run or don't run, and it goes against the tide. And I mean, like in Hollywood, you know, you don't even know, like when they made Gladiator, it was like Roman films are not working. I'm not saying it's going to be like Gladiator, but this is not a genre we've explored, and it's not a genre that people...
It's a risk, you agree?
Huge risk. But it's a classy risk because it's proper cinema. This is not... It's not rubbish. I mean, there's nothing uncinematic about it. In fact, it's a big screen movie. Like a lot of films that I've been offered are not even big screen movies. A lot of movies, I'm saying it, putting it on myself, but a lot of films that are made are not necessarily cinematic experiences.
Right.
You know, they're just nice stories. They should probably be made for Netflix, you know, because you can watch this at home. But here, the horse is here, the fort is there. It's like you need the spectacle for this. So it's got all that, and it's a labor of love. It's like you have to be mad. You have to be off your head.
Which is what, if we see your filmography, you know, lately you've been more on the character, more on how, you know, it's not about just the box office right now for you. Like you're exploring mediums, you're doing films.
Well, you know, to be really honest with you, it's like when films don't run, like recently it's not been a great time at the box office. I think it's better then to do something different, creative, pushing the envelope in some way than being safe in a really bad way. At least let the film try and do something artistically.
So this is what goes, like, keeps you going, like, no matter what. Because I really feel Chef, Kala Kandi and all, like, it was such a good film. Like,
I don't know. I mean, Kala Kandi is anyway a small movie, but Chef was supposed to be something much more entertaining. And now I'm starting to think
something didn't work at the box.
Maybe the kind of film it is, it could have been more, like people found it a little dull, actually. I mean, there's not much eating, they're saying, there's not much comedy, it could be much more blah, blah, blah.
But nothing bogs you down, like,
no, it upsets you. It does upset you. And so I'm also thinking, I mean, it can't, ultimately you have to make the right film for the right environment. You can't be like this character, you can't be out of your comfort zones trying to survive, you know, for too long. So I'm lucky. I don't know. People still give decent offers, and I'm doing something like I'm trying to focus to try and make some money for the producer in the sense of like doing Bhoot Police, which is the next film I'm doing in January. Doing a web show for Ali Abbas, we're shooting in Pataudi and in the Imperial Hotel, which is also home. So I'm looking forward to a relaxed shoot in Delhi. Hopefully the weather gets good. So I leave tomorrow actually. So that's the first job, and then a horror comedy called Bhoot Police, which I'm really excited about because we make an interesting character, but at the same time, Pawan Kriplani is directing and he knows a lot about the genre. So something genuinely scary and genuinely really funny is the aim, but it's by far the most commercial thing. So I think in order to pay back audiences for being so patient, and also to try and
they love you.
Well, to try and give back a little.
In fact, right now it's not about just the movie. It's about how, you know, you're just like this fearless. It's like reconstructing your career. It just feels like that. The choices that you're making right now.
Well, good, because actually, you know, there isn't real fear. I'm like, if somebody's crazy enough to make this film, I want to be in it.
Yeah.
You know, and actually Anand Rai is supposed to be the sane one, but I suspect he's crazy also. You know, because you have to be anyway to be in this line of work. He looks like the most sane among us, but I don't think he is. So there's him who's put really Mr. Crazy Navdeep and kind of me together. In the desert. And this is what we've come back
If you had to review your career, like, What is your like best film? Like if you had to say, like you know, you were really satisfied and it just worked the way you wanted it to. Like you took it up and you hoped that it does well, and it did. And people loved it.
It's really difficult to say. I mean, I don't know if there's been
you
that
look
one
back.
perfect film. I really feel this could be the one. I don't even know if it works. But this is the one that has those elements. You know, I would say, you know, Race was cool, but it's kind of like some parts of, a little bit like, could have been better. Parinita was so beautiful, but the end went a bit funny when you try and uproot a fountain. So I don't know if anything's been perfect. I mean,
You had to
Omkara,
be an
I would
audience
say,
and just watch you on screen. And now if you look back and you've done like a lot of films.
I really liked where Ek Hasina Thi was going, but unfortunately, I can't think of one perfect film where everything, God, I don't know.
And any film that, you know, you feel like it shouldn't have happened at all for you?
There's a few of those, but not really. You know, everything's had something. In fact, I used to, you know, say things like Hamshakals, but I apologize because actually it made money and it was maybe I wasn't at my best, but Agent Vinod I should apologize for more, you know, because I should have made a Desi film. So there's mistakes that one's made, but not like, oh God, you know, it's terrible. But mistakes are things that I haven't done actually. Like I should have done Kapoor and Sons, I should have done Jolly LLB 2. These are two things that are bothering me that I should have done a little bit, because they were both really good movies and they're really good opportunities. And I don't know why I didn't do it. I have a slightly, and my wife was also telling me at least about, must work with Shakun and everyone, all the right advice, but for some reason, you know, I chose Chef instead.
You know, Kareena recently said, like, I just remember this quote suddenly, like, you are the one, like, for everything your first answer is no.
Yeah, you know, she's right.
That's true. Like, something happened, I think one of those days when, you know.
No, but it's never, listen, I'm her big partner in crime when it comes to going on crazy holidays and living the life she wants to live and however she wants to. I'm a huge supporter. I'm not difficult to convince. I think it's more
she
like...
She finds it irritating, no.
No, it's when it's like, you know, it's like a big thing. It's like, you know, should we paint the living room a different color? And I'm like, no, wait, hang on, it's fine. Okay, wait, maybe we can, kind of thing.
So you need that like 2 seconds to...
Yeah, I'm like, I believe my mom's like that, at least with me. I'm a lot like her. Not on the big things and not on interesting things. I think more on policy, like a big change, you know, like on something, like should we do this differently? Or should we, you know, I'm thinking, I can't think of an example, but it's not like, should we eat this or should we go there or should we like, buy this? Not that regular stuff. That I'm the first to say.
How involved is she when it comes to your career choices, like film choices?
She's saying people must be laughing and they're asking me, why are you not listening to me? She says, why are you choosing these films sometimes, she says. So, I mean, yeah.
What was the reaction to Laal Kaptaan?
I don't think it's not her kind of movie. She's like, great look, fab, but I don't think it's her kind of film. Like, this is a kind of a bit of a boy's movie.
No,
it is. I mean, well, hopefully I'm wrong, but at least it's not her kind of movie. But, you know, neither Star Wars, I mean, you know, or Lord of the Rings, or Game of Thrones, or, you know, none of these are her kind of movies.
But she's happy that you took it up.
Yeah, I mean, she's happy if I'm happy. That's she's very supportive. But I mean, that doesn't feature in our lives.
Exactly.
Bought or whatever.
Supportive enough for each other.
Yeah, but in fact, got good at characters would kill me. Her biggest contribution is that she allowed the film to happen peacefully. I mean, it was 6 months. I was away from her and Taimur. She was superbly, she was solid. You know, and it took a long time making this movie, and that's the biggest contribution, to allow you to work in peace in whatever you believe in, instead of saying, are you mad doing
you are
this
crazy
stuff?
in this.
You have to be crazy to do this.
But so you obviously went through a lot of physical transformation for this, but tell me emotionally,
no, it wasn't
mentally,
that physical. It was okay. Physically, I'm pretty much there. I mean, actually,
just the get up.
It's the emotional thing. The sound recordist, a gentleman named Kunal, said, he said, I'm leaving, he had to leave. But he said, you need to spend, you know, he said, you're not sounding like the guy. And the 2 days, some passing shots. Because you don't know, I mean, it's so new. You get all this stuff on, and then the knife and this and that and that. And of course, in a period movie, you don't understand. But even the dagger tells a story. So everything that you're putting on, every accessory, adds to the visual. Even though it might not be natural, it adds to the story. So there's a different type of filmmaking which I didn't understand. So I was so bogged down. It's like the outfit was wearing me. I wasn't wearing it. So that transformation to become this animalistic kind of, wolf, that instead of, in the sun, your eyes becoming like, to actually own it and then sit back with your shoulders and kind of look at people. That transformation in which I think I grew suddenly, and it happens with me usually in bathrooms of hotels where I'm shooting.
Why is that?
I don't know, because I'm like bored in the bedroom. Yes, in front of the mirror, like really late at night. It's like 2 a.m. or something. Just pacing up and down and looking and thinking and then walking and talking. And some of these old rustic hotels, like in Rajasthan, have the big, the whole wall was a mirror. And you're standing there, and you're trying to convince yourself that you can be this guy. And where it comes from and what happens takes time. But this took some doing, and I know it's different when I came back on holiday.
How did you get off?
No, but people used to say, you're looking really different. There's something different about you. Yeah, because I had changed. And then it was such an experience being in those locations in the wilderness of India.
Right.
I mean, we made our city something else, It's like really a crowded kind of mess. And then we complain that it's not like London and New York, because climatically, we're not like the West.
Right.
But the outback in India is amazing. Like in Rajasthan and those open spaces and like
Resort.
Yeah, and if you've got the right kind of house and one of those places, might be a bit quiet, but really beautiful.
Nice. Like how you said this film, like you think that boys would enjoy it more. Like what does your son say, Ibrahim?
Ibrahim has not commented on it. He's always, poor fellow, liked almost all the films. He's not commented on it recently. He's not seen it. He's in school. Taimur shouldn't be watching it, but every night says, "Show me Mara Mari trailer."
Really?
Yeah,
He calls it
Mara Mari. That actually Tanaji, and he says that one. I'm like, which one? Laal Kaptaan. Laal Kaptaan. And he loves the trailer. He watches it twice a day, and I'm sure that's wrong parenting. This slashing of...
Yeah, already. Like I thought maybe Ibrahim, like how interested is he in movies?
They're all interested in movies. I mean, it's one of the...
Like the paps spot him catching movies like almost every...
Yeah, he watches movies. He's from a film family. He's interested in movies. I think they all want to be actors also, and it is a great job, and it's like,
Yeah.
That's where all the influences are.
No, but sometimes like how Shah Rukh said, like Aryan is more into filmmaking. So you never know. Like
we'll see.
He'll obviously come on the big screen.
We'll see whether you become a technician or whether you become a... whatever, sure. If you're a director, it's great. My money would be in front of the camera. But I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, true.
Be nice though. I mean, and Shah Rukh's really interested in various aspects, VFX and all these kind of behind the scenes stuff. So, yeah, it'd be nice to have.
It's going to be a new generation, new bunch
of makers, where the industry is really going through massive changes.
Right.
The kind of films we're making like this. Shah Rukh also did Ashoka, right, at one time.
Yeah.
This had to be done.
No, I hope it's going to add on to your filmography. Yeah, it's so like rich.
But it's like one of those things that
not everyone would dare to take
No, but it's like it's just okay. Here's the thing: given a budget like ours to make a film look so big, you need to have crazy people that you are exploiting. Because unless people are going above and beyond the call of duty, it won't be possible to do. Because you'll run out of time and money.
Right.
So people have to do it without caring about time or money. That's the only way it could look the way it's supposed to look. Without hardly any computer graphics,
There's a lot, and I'm really looking forward to this film.
I hope so, yeah. I'm sure at least you'll see what went into it.
And I'm sure it's not going to be gender specific. No. It's going to be everyone watching it, and I'm really thrilled to watch it.
Actually, it's got a nice take on women, talking about not being gender specific. It's really interesting about what happens to the widow, and what life is for women at that time. My character says that she should she should go to Vrindavan and just be like a...
Your character says that?
To her. Because she loses, she's a widow.
Yeah.
And he says, that's your place. You should just go and spend your life in meditation now. And she's like, are you crazy? So that's part of their friction.
Yeah, nice. All that we get to see now is revolving around your character. And maybe in the movie there'll be a lot more
in one draft, they have a relationship. He saves her from a temple where she's living as a kind of a cleaner. I don't know. It's like after her husband died, there's medieval times, where all this used to happen. Anyway, off the point.
Super.
Thanks.
Really looking forward to it.
Nice talking
Great
to you.
talking to you. Yeah.
It's like a one-of-a-kind kind of movie, something really different. I'm very, very happy I did it. And I really hope you guys enjoy watching it. Yeah.